The war film Come and See has truly shocked and intrigued and scarred and reminded generations to come of the true horrors of war. When it comes to this film, some people may not realize that this film and this director decided to use real live fire in some of the scenes to really show true performances. The authenticity and the level of depth and detail work that it took to be this authentic is something that scarred the actors long after they have filmed the movie, and actually ended a lot of careers, because they no longer wanted to be in films. They no longer wanted to play things because of how difficult this film was. But at the same time, how important was this film? What did this film do for generations to come? What does this film do today? Why is this film so important? That's what we're going to look at today. So in 1943, Flora and another Belarusian boy dig up an abandoned SVT-40 rifle from a sand-filled trench to join the Soviet partisan forces. They do so in defiance of their village elder, who warns them that this would arouse the suspicions of the occupying Germans. The boys' activities are noticed by an FW-189 reconnaissance aircraft flying overhead. The next day, partisans arrive at Fliora's house to conscript him, against his mother's wishes. Flora now becomes a low-rank militiaman who performs menial tasks. When the partisans move on, their commander, Cossack, orders him to remain behind at the camp. Bitterly disappointed, he walks into the forest, weeping, and meets Glasha, a young adolescent girl working as a nurse for the partisans, and the two bond before the camp is attacked by German paratroopers and dive bombers. Floria is partially deafened from the explosions before the two hide in the forest. Floria and Glasha travel to his village, only to find his home deserted and covered in flies. Denying that his family is dead, he believes they are hiding in a nearby island across a bog. Following and arrogantly running Floria from his village, Glasha by chance turns her head and sees a pile of executed villagers' bodies at a house wall, but refrains from alerting him. The two become hysterical after wading through the bog, where Glasha screams at Floria that his family is actually dead in the village, resulting in him pushing her into the water, then immediately trying to rescue her. Rubez, a partisan fighter, comes across them and takes them to meet the surviving villagers, including the badly burnt village elder, who tells Flora of his family's death and that he should not have dug up the rifles. Flora attempts suicide out of guilt by submerging his head in the bog, but Glasha and the villagers save and confront him. Rubez takes Flora and two other men to find food at a nearby warehouse, only to discover it being guarded by German troops. During their retreat, the two companions are killed by a landmine. Rubez and Flora steal a cow from a farmer, but a German machine gun fires upon them, killing Rubez and the cow. Flora later attempts to steal a horse and cart, but the owner catches him, and instead of doing him harm, he helps hide his identity when SS troops approach. He is then taken to a village where they hurriedly discuss a fake identity for him, while an SS commando accompanied by collaborators from the Russian Liberation Army and Battalion 118 surround and occupy the village. Flora tries to warn the townsfolk as they are being herded to their deaths, but is forced to join them inside a barn church. Flora and a young woman are allowed to escape the church, but the latter is dragged by her hair into a truck. The German forces shoot, burn, and throw explosives in the church. A German officer points a gun at Flora's head to pose for a picture, then abandons him as the soldiers leave. He later wanders away from the scorched village, discovering that the partisans have ambushed the Germans. He recovers his jacket and rifle and is approached by a woman who has escaped the church with him, bleeding and in a fugue state. Her sudden resemblance to Glasha, who had been left earlier in the film to take care of the remaining survivors in his village, prompts him to mumble comments Glasha had made to him. Flora returns to the village, where the partisans have captured 11 of the Germans and their collaborators, including the commander. The commander and main collaborator plead for their lives and deflect blame, but a young fanatical officer is unapologetic and vows that they will carry out the genocidal mission. Cossack makes the collaborator douse the Germans with petrol, but the disgusted crowd shoots them before they can all be set on fire. As the partisans leave, Flora notices a framed portrait of Adolf Hitler in a puddle and proceeds to shoot it numerous times. As he does so, a montage of clips from Hitler's life play in reverse, but when Hitler is shown as a baby on his mother Clara's lap, Flora stops shooting and cries. Flora rushes to rejoin his comrades, and they march through the birch woods as snow blankets the ground. This film is obviously extremely graphic and very difficult to watch. It's also very difficult to understand that this could be such a true story, and it is a true story. This is the way that things were back in those days, in this wartime. This is how evil people could be, and this is why the film is so important. Literally, as you watch, some of it was done with makeup, but you can see the actors, especially the main actor, start to change as the film goes on. The fear is unlike anything I have ever witnessed before. And when you do a film like this, or you're looking to make a film that is historical, your biggest purpose is to be factual. It's not to be opinionated. What actually happened? What went down on both sides? Can you show the story, and can you show it completely and truthfully? And how difficult is that to show it like it's supposed to be told? This film needs to be watched by every filmmaker out there, especially if you want to make war films, or especially if you want to make challenging and emotionally and historical, or whatever kind of film that is something that has a serious purpose to it. This film here can really teach you how to understand being accurate, how far to go, what to hide, what not to hide, how much is too much, and then how much is too little. When you look at this film and you see the madness of it, is this madness unrelatable? Or is it a little bit relatable? And how do they do that? How do they make it so close to home, yet so far at the same time? Is it with the tossing of a baby that we would know everybody's going to react very aggressively towards this? Or is it the laughter between two characters as they first start to enjoy each other's company when there's nobody else around? What makes this film so human and also so almost unrelatable and alien at the same time?